Hey, pal, it's July 1st. Okay, I'm recording this before July 1st, but it's getting into your inbox on July 1st. So hi, nice to see you, pal. This is the missive I usually send out on the 1st of the month to let you know what kind of things are on the go over here at Good Food and You, and then Histamine Haven as well. So glad to land in your inbox. I have a couple of things that I want to share with you. So this is going to be just for the newsletter, folks. I have a recipe special for you to welcome in the summer season. I sent it about 2 weeks ago, but June is notoriously a bit wild. And I had a few emails say, I missed the deadline to register for the free or the $5 coupon to get the recipes. So I'm going to make sure you get the coupon again, and I'll extend it. In addition to that, I'm going to go through some new stuff that I've got on the go that I'm really excited to share. So without further ado, hi. So I'm going to put timestamps down below that correspond with each of the different topics we're going to be covering. And I'll try to keep it swift. Lord knows I'm wordy. Okay, I work in nutrition, and my gig is to help people have chronic health issues. Chronic health issues has one thing driving it all: inflammation. In July and August, we're going to continue on reducing inflammation, but now we're taking a turn towards the bones. We're going to be talking about the skeletal system, which includes your bones, your teeth, your joints, your ligaments, your fascia, your tendons. Did I talk about tendons yet? Ligaments. Everything that has to do with holding a body up. And I've got so many new things that I have been busily building this last week. Hello, Blue Jay. To get ready in time for July 1st. So it is, at the time of recording this, it's actually ready. So I want to go through a few of the things that I've pulled together and that I've had to wrap my head around and make sense of things this week. I have been putting stuff together, and I'm really excited to share. Number one, I've put together a class that's free on dairy. It's not really a class. It's a 1-hour musing on dairy. And this came from a couple of conversations, recent conversations, in my DMs on Instagram and in emails and with colleagues. What do you think about dairy? And this, like, people are questioning dairy, which is so great. People questioned dairy 10 years ago, and people are coming back and questioning it again. And some continue to question how it was 10 years ago. And some now are going, wait, were we right to take out a whole category of foods out? And for the, in the interest of giving you all of the information, that's what this session is about. And it's a free one. So I call it Musings on Dairy. It's going to be a new series that I will make sporadically on big topics that are going to be ways in to think about a big thing that could be a controversial thing, typically, actually. So Musings on Dairy is the first one. Musings on Dairy is a deep dive into, is dairy really that bad of a thing? What happens when you have dairy out for a long time? What happens if you cannot tolerate dairy? Are you really unable to tolerate dairy? Wait a second, I really actually am unable to tolerate dairy. Luka, you jerk. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I cover all of that. And I come at it from a wide angle in order to give you all of the information so you can go, oh. And I tell you exactly where I am. I don't do all of the dairy because I can't tolerate all of the dairy because it makes me super farty and makes my eczema break out. So I don't have a lot of it. But where I do have it, I make it count, because dairy is such an integral and deeply nourishing ancestral food that is common to many different cultures. What would Italian food be like without Parmesan cheese? Your Nona would get mad at you. Do you know that she slips in butter every time she makes her sauce? Yeah, she loves you that much. What would the Maasai people, who are a traditional culture that are a part of the world in sub-Saharan Africa? Like, sorry, the foods you've been eating, which is blood and milk, is the predominance of their diet. The foods you've been eating are trying to kill you. Hi. You don't get to say that. You're trying to erase a whole culture. Those people, I don't mean it like that. This population of people who've eaten this way traditionally are still here, are still alive, are still eating this way in many instances, and are still doing quite well, and their health is remarkable. They're one of the tallest, strongest people on the planet. Hi. What about the Polish and Eastern European people? Are you going to tell your bubby that she was wrong in giving you yogurt and making buttermilk out of all the things and putting butter on all the things? Was she wrong for millennia? Oh, come on. Anyway, I cover all of that in this class. So it's set up a little bit differently. I'm trying to make things a bit easier. So I'm going to put a link. It's going to be link number 1 below, and it's called Musings on Dairy. The link is going to just get your email so it can send you the link in your email. So it just automates a couple of things. There's 2 emails that come, and that's it. First email, save it, has the link to watch the video. Save it so you can go back to it. It's 60 minutes long. There's a second link or email that comes out 2 days later with more articles to then say, okay, so if you're not having dairy, now you're going to nuts and seeds and oat milk, for example, what does that look like? And is that a good alternative? So we take that discussion a little bit further. So this is a class that's free. That is for anybody who's ever had that question of like, is dairy okay for me? I really love dairy. Am I going to have to give it up? I've contemplated going dairy-free. I went dairy-free and it helped, or I went dairy-free and I didn't see a change. Am I a little bit loopy? So this will help you identify that. I will tell you, I cut out gluten and dairy when I first started to realize what we eat has a sway in how we feel. Those are my early days, right before I went to nutrition school. And I saw an improvement in so many of my symptoms. And a year in, I really missed dairy. And I said, what do I do? What if I bring it back in? And I could tolerate it quite a bit more. But there was a lot of work that happened before that. So that's what I talk about in that class. So Musings on Dairy, link number 1. Link number 2, the whole reason I did this whole Musings on Dairy class video, it's not really a class, it's a video, is because this week I've been busy putting together a class I haven't run since 2016. It's called Vitality Bones. In the early days of building the Vitality sessions, I had one for all different body parts and systems. I currently have some recorded and now living as always accessible versions. So I have one for gut, liver, thyroid, blood sugar balancing, sleep, liver, inflammation, quite a few others, can't remember. And the bones one, the heart one as well, are ones that I did, but only in person. And I've never been able to have enough time to carve time out in my schedule to build that class. And I specifically made time this week, put everything else to the curb, sorry, people for whom I work, so that I could build this class. It only lives in the GoodFood Network, though. It is not going to live outside of the GoodFood Network until I'm settled into my new home in the fall. So too bad for you. So if you want access, who's going to want access to this? Anybody who has joint pain, osteoporosis, osteopenia, has a family history of skeletal issues, you are going to want to access this Vitality Bones class. It is the main topic we're going to dive into the GoodFood Network. So not only will you get access to the Vitality class, it's 4 hours long. That's how complicated bones are. And it's broken down into 13 videos, and I'll take you through them one at a time. Don't worry. It's pretty easy to follow along. So there's the Vitality Bones class, but I've got a lot of other stuff with it. And they are under the umbrella of the GoodFood Network. So when you join the GoodFood Network, you have access to content for that month, and the content changes every month. Some of it stays for 2 months. That whole 4-hour class is going to be there for 2 months. It's going to be there for July and August. So you'll have 2 months to watch it. And the class by itself is $60. You're paying $70 to be in the network for 2 months. But in addition to that 4-hour class, you will also get access to another class. Before I tell you about that class, I'm going to tell you, if you want to join the network, because you're like, yeah, I need to access this Vitality Bones class, Luka. Awesome. You better join us in the GoodFood Network. It'll be link number 2 below. There's going to be 2 links under there. The first one is going to be to book in for a chat with me. The second one is going to be the link to get the full information and to register for the GoodFood Network. So you can get a better sense of what it is I do an orientation call on the 1st or the 2nd this month, actually. And that's going to be posted as soon as it's available on my social media channels and what have you. So you'll be, and the links to that will be on link number 2 that's below the Good Food Network links below. All that to say, just follow links, gang. I have information and I have things to help you decide if this is something you want to do. You don't necessarily need to talk to me. You can do it on your own. Yeah. So that is link number 2 below, Vitality Bones, because we're doing the bones for 2 months in the Good Food Network. The Good Food Network doesn't have just that vitality class. It also has a 90-minute to 120-minute class that is about the main topic. So because our main topic is bones, we're actually going to zero in on osteopenia and osteoporosis. It's called SOS, Osteopenia, Osteoporosis. I'm nothing if not obvious. That class is happening July 17th. If you're in the network, you will get it for free. If you register for this class, you can do just this class alone, and that by itself is $25. So you can do that too. So that's going to be link number 3. Guess what we're going to talk about? Osteopenia, osteoporosis, and solutions to get you started. So if you have recently gotten, I'm worried about your bone density comments from some of your practitioners, or your mom reminded you that she's got osteoporosis, you want to come and take this class. So that is July 17th. Yeah, it's live. But with each of my live classes, I send a replay link out to everyone who registers. And you'll have until the end of July to watch that replay. So come and join us. Yeah, do it on your own time or join us live. It's up to you. If you join us live, we're hanging out. And I give you an 8-page document to write your notes. Like, I hold your hand through it all. Don't be afraid. Yeah. That is link number 3 if you want to register for that. Link number 4 below, I'm going to put the link to the 4 weeks of summer recipes for those who want it. And I'm going to give you the coupon code again so that you can use that at checkout. No, I'm going to make it even easier. How should I do this? Okay, I'm going to put the link to register below, and only those who are on my newsletter are going to get the coupon. So wherever you click to watch this video, go back to the email that led you here. In there, I'm going to put the coupon code. So it's only people who get the newsletter who are going to get the coupon code. Oh, I'll also add, because some people will find this video without being on my newsletter. Do you want to sign up for the newsletter? You should. It's at the bottom. Okay. So if you need some recipes, we're into summer. If you're like, God, I need something new. I am going to, there's 4 weeks of recipes. They come to your inbox. Well, no, there's explanations and things to think about. In this particular recipe program, we are focusing on seasonal eating, and we're actually focusing on the heart. The summer is the season of the heart, and so it's really the time to get out of our heads and into our hearts. And so if you need some help to get there, why don't you sign up for those recipes? Coupon code will be in your email and the link too, but the link will be below as well if you want to get the recipes. So my newsletter folks get it for $5. Everybody else, it's 20. Those are the first 4 links. The 5th and final link of things I'm doing live this month. Over at Histamine Haven, we have already launched our beta version to certain peoples who are going through the online community that we've built, spent 3 years building. It's very exciting and so overwhelming, but so gratifying to hear that people are making their way through it okay and starting to move through the content. Now, that's exciting, and we don't have that ready till September, open to everybody else who has histamine and mast cell issues. But every month at Histamine Haven, we do a free class. And we do a free class to help. We usually pick a theme, a topic, much like I do in the network. And we do a presentation on that theme, talking about how histamine and mast cells are involved. So for this month of July, we're going to be doing a free class on muscles and joints and talking about how histamine and mast cells are involved in some of the symptoms that can show up in your muscles or joints. So we're going to be talking about, so who will want to come to this class? Well, anybody who is always wanting to learn about histamine issues is welcome. But if you have any of these symptoms, I'm going by memory here. So joint pain, degenerative discs or mobility issues or hypermobility? Like, were you the person who was like a double jointed when you were a kid or could easily do the splits? Or do you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Ehlers-Danlos totally has a mast cell piece to it, and we'll explain how that works. Recently realized that the development of bone spurs, which is a part of the scenario when you have osteoporosis, actually has a mast cell component to it. So we'll be talking about that. Let me open up our book and see what else comes in that. It's on page 9. What else do we have that comes to the muscles and the bones? Twitches. So restless leg syndrome, muscle twitching, hypermobility, Ehlers-Danlos. We've talked about that. Chronic pain and chronic joint pain, TMJ pain. Trigeminal neuralgia is another diagnosis I've seen that has mast cell activation inclusion. So we're covering quite a bit. So what we're doing is just a free 90-minute class. There's a replay that goes out to everybody who registers, so you'll get the replay to access that. And there we start with some solutions to get started if this is you. And it's really to help you make that histamine connection. So that's link number 5 below. That's it. That's all. That's happening, by the way, on Tuesday, July 23rd at 12:30 Alberta time. You can join us live. Then you can ask questions. I don't know why most people prefer to watch the replay. I just think it's the only time you can meet us for free to talk about histamine and mast cell issues and ask questions. Why aren't you coming? Anyway, it's there if you want it. Okay, and that's it. That's all. That's where I'm going to be over the month of July. I'm also going to be on my bike. I am also going to be holding back tears as my honey is leaving to start a new life in the Netherlands. Big news bomb. I'm going to join him in September. And so as our kiddo is graduating and going off to university in the fall, we have decided that our empty nest hearts will break if we stay in Calgary without our kiddo. So we are setting up for an adventure, and she's going to come visit us. We've made it very clear that she can come as often as she wants. It's a bit of a commute, but we are moving to The Hague in the Netherlands. I will continue to be here. I will continue to do the GoodFood Network, and I will continue to do classes and see clients. But the month of July and August are going to be drastically reduced in terms of my ability to be able to see clients one-on-one, especially towards August. So if you've been thinking about seeing me one-on-one, now's a good time, baby. Let's get you started before I am MIA for a few weeks in there. So there's going to be a lot of changes around here for me. And the only way I am able to weather big changes is to take big old breaths and take a step back from work. So there will be a bit of that happening. But everybody who's in the network, you will still get the same content and the same volume of content. Clients, I will have less hours available to see people over the course of the summer, which works out. Most people want to take a break in the summer anyway. So I'm really just going with the flow. And that's, the invitation for this next season. I have 3 words that I've been playing with to help me move through what feels like a tumultuous time. I've got grounding, and I do that by going outside every day and putting my feet on the ground. Sometimes I even just sit or lie on the ground directly for 20 minutes, like I did today and yesterday and midday. Yeah, grounding, wonder, like a child's wonder, and re-invite wonder into my life, and flow. My good friend Carol has introduced the whole idea and concept of flow and how humans often are really good at stopping flow, and we need to get out of the way and just support flow. And to me, summer is the season of flow. It's the season of the breeze. It's the season of the hammock. It's the season of the running waters and the rivers. And so I wish for you some flow and some ease in your days with that flow, grounding when you need it, and wonder to keep you in your hearts wide open. Take care, and we'll see you in August, maybe, or at one of these classes. Gosh, do I have a lot of stuff for you. I'm really excited. I'm on Team U, See you around. Ciao. Salut, à bientôt.